functions, you need to be able to graph these three types. So how can we graph these three types of functions? So when you see a function that is in this way, what you need to know is that these are general functions. Just do this. This is your what? Your y-axis. This is your x-axis. So you know that this is the origin, there is a 0. So when a graph is like this, this graph is just like this. This is what you need to know and understand. So the graph is just like this, touching the origin, then it goes like that. This is how the graph is. So this is the graph for this. So this is the what? This is the format. So in this tutorial, you need to know how to graph all these. So this one, its graph looks like this. So make sure you know how it looks. Let's go to this one. So this one, y is equals to x squared. X squared, it must be like this. This is the what? The general way. We move to y is equals to square root of x. How is the graph going to be? So you sketch, we are sketching, you just do this. You know that this is the what? Origin. This is your x-axis and this is your y-axis. So the way you are going to plot this, when a graph is like this, it's starting from here, going in this manner. So this is the format. So when a graph or a function is given in this manner, just know that it must be like this. So these are general graphs that I'm giving you before I talk about the major graphs now. So let's make sure we understand this foundation. This is a basic foundation that we need to understand. So these are translation of graphs. We are still doing more on these. So let's make sure we get the concept, we understand clearly. So we move to this one. Y is equal to the modulus of x. So modulus of what? X. So this one, you do this. So this is your x-axis. This is your y-axis. This is 0, the origin. So this one just comes straight like this. This is what you need to understand. This one is just straight. It's different to this one. Have you seen this one is making a curve of some kind? This one is just straight like this. So this is y is equal to x squared. This is y is equal to square root of x. This is y is equal to modulus of x. These are the three graphs that you need to understand. So even as I start this now, so these are the three graphs that you need to understand. So let's make sure we understand these three graphs that I've presented before you. So these are simple graphs that we need to take note of. These are simple graphs that we need to understand. So away from this now, let us now look at it. So the first thing that we are going to look at is the vertical shift of graphs. So this is the first thing that I'm going to teach you. So the first one that I'm going to look at is the vertical. So it is called the vertical shifts of graphs. This is what I'm going to teach you. Vertical shifts of what? Of graphs. So vertical shifts of graphs, what you need to understand on this is that functions will be given or graphs are going to be given. So for example, let's say you are given a function. So whenever we are talking about the vertical shift, functions will be given in this manner. Y is equal to f of x plus what? Plus c. In this manner. Or it can be like this. Y is equal to f of x minus what? Minus c. This is how they are going to ask you. So now, how can you differentiate these two? So the easiest way to know this is very simple. I'm going to show you how to go about these questions. These are simple questions. So the way you need to know how you are going to graph this. So how can you know that I need to graph this in this way and I need to graph that in that way? So when a function given, or rather an equation, and you are told to graph this, have you seen? So this is a function separate to this. So when it is written like this, you know that this is what? A vertical shift. So the graph is moving vertically, upward or downward. This is what it means, vertical. So it moves upward or downward. So when a graph is written like this, the first thing you need to do is to write the general graph for this one. So you write the general graph for this one. Then the graph will move upward by C unit. So it will move upward by what? C unit. If this is 2, then it will move 2 upward. So if a graph is like this, x squared then plus 2. So a graph will be like this, then it will move 2, following the original graph. So if it is like this, it will move vertically. It will move in the what? Y-axis. When it is like this, to move 2 units upwards. So when a graph is like this, the graph moves what? Upward. So the graph moves upwards by what? By C unit. So it moves upwards by C unit. C unit, this is a number. So if it is 2, it will move by 2 upwards. So this is what you need to know and understand. We go to this one. So when it is like this, the graph will move what? Will move downward. So the graph is going to move downward by what? By C what? It will move downwards. It will move downwards by what? By C unit. So by C units. So it is going to move downward by C unit. Have you seen? So if it is a negative, it moves downward. If there is a positive here, it moves upward. So, and the way it is written like this, you need to know. When it is written like this, they are separate like this. Just know that they are supposed to move vertically. They are moving what? Vertically. When they are like this, they are moving vertically, but when there is a negative, it moves downward. When there is a positive, it moves upward. This is what you need to know and understand on this. So now let us look at an example. Let's have an example. So let's say this is our example. So in this example, the question is saying sketch. So sketch each function. Sketch each function below. So we want to sketch each function below in this manner. So we want to sketch each function below. So I'll start with A. I've got the first function, which is g of x is equal to x squared plus 3. Then I've got the B, which is h of x is equal to x squared minus 2. These are two functions that I'm given. So these are going to help you very much. So these are going to help you very much. So the way we sketch this, the way we are going to sketch this is that I'm going to start with this one. So the first thing you need to do, you sketch the original. The original is what? X squared. So how does that graph looks like? You do this. So that graph, this is y-axis, this is x-axis. How does that graph looks like? The original graph looks like this. This is how it looks like. Have you seen? Then there is a positive here. It is like this, positive. So positive 3 moves upward. Here it moves upward. So let's say here we've got a 3 there. So it will be like this. This is the original graph. So this is a sketch. So this is just a sketch. You do this. You are sketching. So it is supposed to be dotted because it is not the original. So it is what? Dotted. So when it is like this, then this is the original now. On 3 upward, this is how you are supposed to sketch this. So here, this is now the graph y. You can say y is equals to x squared plus 3. It's just one and the same. Or you can put the way they have written here. It's what? G of x is equals to x squared plus 3. Just one and the same. So don't be confused in an exam where they are putting g of x. Then you think it's different. No, it's just one and the same thing. So from here now, when you reach here, what you need to do is here this is a foundation. You plot this, then you write the original like that. Have you seen the way we are answering this? So we are answering this in a good way. So let's say, let me say if the graph was like, so let's say if the graph was saying g of x is equal to, maybe they say they are, let's say they just say this, then they say plus 3 like this. So this is just one and the same. So this is just one and the same. This is what you need to know and understand. So when it is like this, what we like this, the original, the way it is supposed to be this one. So you know that that graph looks like this. This is how that graph is going to look. This is y, this is x. So this is 0. So it is like this. The graph will come out like this. Have you seen? This is, so it is supposed to be dotted. You put a dotted. So this is supposed to be dotted like this because it is not the original. So it's supposed to be dotted. So then here there is 3. So that's where the graph will be now. The original graph. So let's make sure we understand all this. It is moving where? It is moving in the what? It is moving in the it is moving in the y-axis, which is vertical. So let's make sure we understand this part very well. So let's make sure we get the concept, we understand the concept. So away from this now, let us go to this other one. So this other one, the way we are going to answer this is that we are going to do this. This is what we are going to do. So this is what we are going to do. So the way we are going to answer these ones is that you are given this. This is what you are given. So this is what you are given. You are given this. So when you are given this, what should come to your mind? You know that you need to do what? To write this original graph. Then I told you how this original graph is supposed to be or how it looks. So we've got that understanding. So this one, you know that it is like this. Is how you are going to do it. You do this, it is like this. Have you seen? It is like this. So here there is a 0. So the original one, it is supposed to be dotted like that. Have you seen? Supposed to be what? Dotted. Then when it is having a negative here, have you seen? When it is having a negative, it is supposed to move what? Downwards. So let's say negative 2 is here. So the original graph will pass through there. Will be like this. This is the original what? The original graph. So this is a sketch. Then that is the original what? Original graph. So we have plotted this. The same thing applies. If the graph is like this, let's say you are given h of x is equal to, you are given something like this, then it is like this. Then there is a minus 2 like this. The first thing you need to do, you write this graph here. You write this graph. This is what you are going to do. You write the what? You write the graph. So writing the graph which is here, what you are going to measure in is that you are going to say this is what? This is what you put like a graph like this. You do this. This is y. This is x. This is what you are going to do. So when you do this, when you just do this, what you need to know, here there's a what? Here there is a 0 there. So you know that a graph like a sketch will be like this, straight like this. This is how it is going to be. Then it moves what? Downward. So where there is -2 here, this is where the original graph is going to be like this. Have you seen? From here, the basic one, then we go to the main one, which we are supposed to write down. So let's make sure we understand all these principles that we are doing here. So these are graphs. So this is what vertical shifts of what? Graphs. So let's understand this part. This is like a simple part that